This is the hot take, the final segment of the podcast, where usually I look online and find a hot take that someone has submitted into some forum somewhere deep on the internet, which we argue about, talk about, discuss, and then people flame us in the comments for not listening to the video first. But this week, the hot take is actually by us, and it is by the newest manga chapter that's just been released, which reveals that Frieza has returned. And basically, the hot take this week is it worth bringing back Black Frieza? So let's talk.
Frieza, who is now black, apparently.
Yeah, he's black now.
Yeah.
Just in colour, not by race.
Poorly named. I don't know.
This is the second black character in Dragon Ball now. We had Goku Black, and now we have Black Frieza. So hopefully we can get Trunks returning. We have Teen Trunks now. Hopefully he can come along and again shout, "Don't shoot, he's not black." I want that to return. Such an iconic line now.
They're not great with these namings and these.
No, surely, I know it's dubbed and they've got to translate the Japanese and stuff, but surely someone could have seen that line and think, maybe we should reword it slightly,
Yeah.
There's so many more things they could have said which keeps the same tone. Don't shoot. That's not Goku Black.
Yeah. That's one of the most mean sentences in Dragon Ball.
Don't shoot, that's not the enemy.
Yeah.
Or whatever. You didn't have to say don't shoot, he's not black.
Yeah.
Come on.
What is it? No, what is it? The exact phrase, "Don't shoot, this man is not black." It's the exact phrase that the Trunks says.
Yeah.
I can't believe that they actually left that in. That's so bad.
Yeah. That's true. Blue Lives Matter and all that. Oh god.
Yeah.
But basically,
and now they've chosen this name for Frieza, which is just.
I mean, okay, fine. You can have the color of Frieza. You can recolor him to be black. That's fine. Whatever, new form. But it's maybe a poor choice. You should have made him purple or something. Purple's a cool dark color that you can use.
Yeah.
But anyway,
if you're going to use that color, is the name
the name? Yeah, you don't need to call him that. Just call him Dark Frieza or something.
But I've seen a lot of people suggest things like Onyx Frieza and stuff like that.
Oh, Onyx Frieza could be a cool one.
Yeah.
Although that's going into Pokemon territory, and I don't know if they can trademark Onyx.
Well, no, because Onyx is a type of
yeah, I know it's a type of stone or whatever, but I don't know. People might complain just because of Pokemon.
Yeah. But anyway,
which
Frieza himself coming back.
Just on the topic of Pokemon Pokemon fun fact in the Dragon Ball podcast. The Korean name of Onyx is Longstone, and I think that's a great name for Onyx. In Korean, he's just called Longstone because he is a Longstone. But anyway, back to Dragon Ball. Let's do a quick recap of the chapter. The ending of the chapter at least. So, of course, Gas has been the main villain of the entire, the past however many chapters at this point. The big battle has been going on forever. Gas made a wish.
It's a ridiculously long arc.
One of the longest arcs in Dragon Ball history, I think. But yeah, Gas made a wish at some point to be the strongest person in the universe. And yeah, they've been going on that. Goku and Vegeta have been constantly getting beat down by him and losing. Even in their biggest forms and stuff, Ultra Ego, Master Ultra Instinct, all that stuff, they still can't beat him. And they're going to war again. And out of nowhere, Frieza returns in his new shiny black form. And he literally puts his hand on Gas's head and just melts him. And it's
It is very graphic as well.
Yeah, he turns to bone and dust. I was okay. Right, well, this has been going on forever, and just when we think Goku or Vegeta is finally going to get a win, Frieza is back after being gone since Broly arc, I guess. Well, in manga terms, the Tournament of Power, since they haven't done the Broly arc in the manga yet. So since the Tournament of Power, Frieza's been gone and never seen again, and he returns here and just beats Gas in one shot. That is incredible. And then he sees Vegeta and Goku charges at them, punches them both in the stomach at the same time, and they're both down. And Frieza reveals he's been in a different universe, in a different dimension. He found, like, it was one of the planets that he conquered a long time ago. They've got like their version of a hyperbolic time chamber where time is slower inside and all this stuff. And he's been in there training for 10 years. And, you know, we've always speculated what Frieza would be like if he actually trained, because he unlocked the golden form after training for just 3 months before he went to invade Earth in his new golden form. And this time he's been training for 10 whole years. And he one-shot gas. He took out Goku and Vegeta in one punch each. And it's like, this is the Frieza that should have came back in the Golden Frieza arc. But instead he got embarrassed and that form is useless. And yes, he is back to being the strongest at the moment.
See, this is the Frieza that we've talked about so many times, and it's just like, I mean, we've addressed this in I think it was literally like the last podcast or the podcast before, where I'm just saying that like they've made a joke of him, and it's like they should have just not had him involved at all anywhere, and then done this.
There's a bit of a sad truth that has to be admitted here, because we had Frieza in the Frieza arc, of course, and when he died because of Trunks at the very beginning of the Android arc, he was forgotten about and swept under the rug and quickly moved on to. But we thought, okay, that's the end of Frieza, the best villain in Dragon Ball, we're not going to see him again. And everyone accepted that at the time during the Dragon Ball Z days. Just thought, okay, that's the end of Frieza. And then Dragon Ball Super came back, and they decided after, like 15, almost 20 years or whatever, 15 years I think, we're bringing back Frieza. And they bring him back with a new form, and everyone's hyped because he is the best Dragon Ball villain of all time. He's one of the best anime villains of all time. We're bringing him back! And they give him a new form, they made him look cool, but he didn't really do much.
He got bodied, he was made a joke of, and he was immediately defeated.
Yeah, but they give him a redeeming factor in the Tournament of Power. He has some really good moments in there. He survives until the end. He is an MVP of the fight. And yeah, all good. We thought, okay, good. Frieza gets his comeuppance, not comeuppance, but he gets his shine and light moment. He's strong again, he's powerful, he's on par, he stays until the end. He's good. Frieza's still around as well, he's not dead. And then he goes off into the sunset, and then they release the Broly film.
And he becomes a chew toy for half.
Yeah, Frieza is instantly back straight away. If anything, I think it was a bad idea just bringing him back for this film. It made sense to give some sort of backstory to Broly, but also I don't think he needed to be in it. I think they could have had the Frieza Force trying to find Frieza without having Frieza in the film at all. And then, you know, Broly and Paragus could have still got found by some Frieza grunts, report back to the ship, and everything could have happened all the same. You know, we don't really need Frieza in the film at all. The only thing that Frieza does is he kills Paragus. But they could have found some other way to do that. Maybe a stray beam by Broly could have killed Paragus, whatever. But Frieza in this film is just thrown around and embarrassed, and that is the last look we've had of Frieza. Which is not a good ending for Frieza. Of course, he scurries off into the distance, but now he's back and he's finally trained. But the sad reality is, this will be the last time we see Frieza. Let's face it. After this whole, because there's going to be a month break with the manga, they're putting it on hold. And it's going to come back in October now. This is like kind of the end of the gas arc with this, and they're going on a mini hiatus for a month, and they're going to be back to start the next arc after this. But with Frieza being back, this is the final showing of Frieza. This is Frieza's final showdown. He is insanely powerful. He's actually trained, and for a long time as well, 10 years. Like, he got a new form after 3 months with Golden Frieza. This time he's trained for 10 years. He took out Gas with one punch. He took out Master Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta in one punch each. Like, he is a beast right now. Unstoppable, potentially. And the one thing of note is that like Goku asks, is Frieza the strongest warrior in the universe? Or in the universes? And Whis is like, potentially, but I don't think so. And I think a new warrior could have just been born. Like a new potential strongest person could have just been born. And that's kind of how the chapter ends. And it's like, So they've hinted that there's a strongest warrior. And potentially Frieza, but probably not. Let's face it, Whis has said probably not. So it's like, there's someone stronger than Frieza? Who is it? And my theory is that it's Oob. Which is sad to say. It's so disappointing if you think about it. But it makes sense. They need to bring Oob back in at some point because he is canon because of the stupid ending to Dragon Ball Z. It's been however many years since the end of the Boo saga now. A couple of years at least. Is Pan born at the end of the Boo saga? No, right? Or is she?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember. But anyway, Goten and Trunks are both there at the end of the Boo saga. They're still kids. And by this superhero film, which is the newest piece of content, they are older. But Piccolo even says, "What? I know I haven't seen you for a while, but it hasn't been that long." So they're a lot older. Pan's older. So this is around the time that Oob will be introduced. So it would make sense because the manga is slightly different timelines because there is no Broly, there is no superhero film. But it has been a while. Oob hasn't been reintroduced. He does need to be at some point. Oob is still a kid at the end of Z. If Whis is saying that someone could have just been born who is the strongest, who else could it be? It's probably him, which is underwhelming, but I've got a feeling it will be, you know. I think this is how he gets reintroduced.
That would be painful. That would cause me physical pain.
Yeah.
That's the case.
Yeah. But it just makes sense to me.
I just don't trust Whis.
Yeah, this could be Whis' bad guy heel turn moment.
What? I don't know, just why doesn't... Whis isn't a good guy. He's not one of the good guys at all.
No, he's neutral completely.
Yeah, he's absolutely chaotic neutral. 100%. He has no interest in protecting Goku and all that. He barely that. He's not really interested in beers, to be fair. Like he literally serves the angels, and that's about it. And like he'll pal up with you if he gets some food and stuff like that, and he's fine being acquaintances with you, but he's not a moral arbiter by any means.
No.
This is why he's not saying potential. This is probably why he's saying potentially and stuff like that.
Yeah,
not exactly going out his way to find out for you.
Yeah, because I think he could have easily just if he knows Frieza isn't the strongest in the universe, and he thinks someone has been born, he could say, "Yes, this specific person over here in this part of the universe has just been born. This guy, it's him. He is the strongest. It's him right there. Go look at him." But he hasn't. He's been very vague, and he's not revealing anything.
Because he can find out a lot of stuff with that staff of his.
Yeah, the staff of unlimited power. It does everything, apparently. It can revive people, it can bring planets back, it can reverse time, it can do anything. It can be used as a mobile phone. So, yeah, the staff does everything.
I just don't trust Whis. I love Whis. Don't trust him,
No. He could be hinting at himself being the strongest. But, I think that's unlikely. I think he's too much of a fan favourite to turn bad, personally. Yeah. Although I wouldn't mind personally seeing him turn bad. I think he's too much of a fan favorite to turn him bad. Yeah.
No, I can't see any of the I can't see him going evil or like that. No, I think they'll keep him about for a long time. Him and Beerus.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why Oob, unless they're planning on bringing in some completely new villain, which. They've just reintroduced Frieza. They've got to do something with Frieza. But if they're saying that Frieza's not the strongest, it's like, why bring him back right now? Why bring him back right now?
I just don't get why they... I don't know. I literally just think they've done... I don't get why they've built up this... It seems like, by the sound of it, they've they've done this whole gas thing for so long that they didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, it seems almost like I don't want to say underwhelming ending, but everyone was expecting either Goku or Vegeta to finally get the win.
Yeah,
and they
I mean,
didn't.
I know we're not the manga readers or anything like that, but it seemed to be I noticed a lot of people online said it seemed to be they were getting a bit tired of the gas arc, like it was just going on and on and on forever and ever. Yeah. And it was just going on for too long, and then to just randomly introduce Frieza to end it. It was just like they just didn't know how to end it, or did they know all along this was how it was going to end?
Maybe. Another reason why I think it's Oob, which makes sense, is the fact that yes, we used to say another fighter could have just been born. Yes, they're saying he's more stronger than Frieza potentially. It makes sense to be Oob because it makes sense for Goku to hunt him down, enter a world martial arts tournament to find him, to train him, so that Oob can be the one to take on Frieza, since Oob is insanely powerful in the reincarnation of Majin Buu. It makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense. Goku's going to train Oob to unlock his potential because Oob is the most powerful person, and Oob is going to be the one who needs to take down Frieza because Goku and Vegeta aren't powerful enough. That's going to be it. I've figured out the story. That's it.
So you think they planned this all, 30 years ago?
No, I don't. I think they've had to change the story so much just to fit in Oob because they made such a blunder with the ending of Z. That this is the only reason why they didn't continue the story after Z, because they realized that was a bad ending. We can fit in so much more stuff.
I think they'll just retcon it and hope people forgot about Oob.
I don't think they will. I think this is the lead to Oob. It makes sense. They need someone to be Frieza. They didn't specify that the strongest person in the universe is a bad guy. So yeah, I think Goku's going to take him under the wing, train him up, probably with Broly and Vegeta. And yeah, Oob's going to be the one to take out Frieza. Have I cracked the code? Have I done it?
Imagine you're right.
Should I go to a bookies now? Should I find somewhere I can bet online? Is Oob the next strongest person?
Bet on Dragon Ball. You can bet on everything, to be fair.
You probably can. I want to find a betting website. I can bet on it. Oob is this mystery strongest person. Putting a bet down. But yeah, I don't know. Was it a good idea to bring Frieza back?
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like it was a weird way to end it by the sound of it.
Yeah, it's just Frieza didn't.
It seems like a very out of nowhere type thing.
Yes, well, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, like from what people have been talking about this arc, to then just randomly chuck him in out of absolutely nowhere, and now the arc's over, and that's it. He literally came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
And now it's done.
Yeah, Frieza was embarrassed. He isn't dead. They did need to bring him back at some point. They've finally done it.
Is now the time, though?
Yeah.
Like, it's a cool twist, but after that entire arc, after such a long arc, to be like, haha, and now it was me.
It's the shock factor, though, because Gas was insanely powerful. He wished to be the strongest person in the universe. Which, again, makes sense for Oob. Oob wouldn't have been born at the time of the wish. Frieza was in a different universe dimension, so he would have been the strongest person in the universe because Oob wasn't around yet. Oob was born. He is the new strongest. Frieza comes along, and he isn't the strongest. At least doesn't think so. At least because he's like, well, someone else is just being born, and he seems pretty strong. It's Oob, I'm telling you. But bringing Frieza back with a new form, I'm all for it. It needed to happen at some point. It gives massive shock factor for the end of this manga chapter, I guess, arc completely. Do I want him to get beat by Oob if Oob is the person? No. But they'll write Oob as a good character. I have faith they'll make Oob good somehow. Please make Oob good somehow.
I don't like shock factor just for the sake of shock factor.
I don't mind it in this case. I don't mind it.
You just like it because it's made Frieza good again.
No, it's because they didn't follow what everyone was expecting, because Frieza or Vegeta, not Frieza, Goku or Vegeta always gets the big win. They always overcome the enemy at the end of the day. But this time the enemy's being beaten by a different enemy. And I was like, I like that. They've pulled a swerve on everyone, and it's a good swerve. This enemy who had wished to be the strongest actually isn't the strongest. How? And they've explained it already, and it makes sense. And Frieza's back. Finally. Good Frieza. Like a strong Frieza. And this is going to be...
Why couldn't this new, strong, good Frieza look different? Why does he have to look exactly the same?
Yeah, he's just recolored.
Give him a different model instead of just a recolor.
I agree with that. I agree. They could have made him look different, gave him a different name, which hasn't been made into a meme already. But they didn't. And
like, it's ridiculous that they haven't changed the way he looks.
Yeah.
Like, he's so ridiculously more powerful, and it's just like, haha, but I got slightly recolored.
It's at the point though where he's like such an iconic look, where it's like, yeah, I kind of get it. It's like, imagine if they changed Goku, like they changed his hairstyle or how he's built. It's like, you can't do that. He's too iconic. You can't change how he looks, and Frieza's kind of fell into that now as well. His final form is iconic. You can't change that.
I feel like you can add something to him rather than just reshade him.
Yeah, but they even did it with Piccolo's new transformation. He still looks like Piccolo. He's just orange now and slightly bigger.
I think you can add a little something to him. Like, even like, I don't know, like you can still keep the core of him and just add a little bit extra.
Yeah, maybe, but I think that's probably why.
Clothes to the dude or something. Like, how?
He's an alien who doesn't care about showing some skin. Come on. He got rid of that Frieza armor after his first form. Yeah, that's true. Maybe he feels a bit self-conscious about his body. You don't know that. Don't judge him.
True. But no, they should have done something a bit different. Yeah. Just a reshading is just not good enough.
I agree, but I think that's probably the reason why, is that he's just too iconic at this point. And for kids, if you see a new figure on the shelf, even if he is black now, people will recognize and be like, is that Frieza? Oh wow, okay. Because if he looked completely different, people are going to not even realize it's him.
Yeah.
So I think that's the reason. But I agree. I personally wish he would have been different, but I understand why. He's just recolored. Do I think it's good? Yeah, I do think it's good, because he did need to come back at some point, but this will be the final stand of Frieza. This next arc involving him
definitely needs to be.
Yeah. Even if it goes on for way too many chapters like this gas arc, this will be Frieza's final stand. And once it's finally over, I doubt we will ever see Frieza again. But that's fine, because he's been brought back twice now, and yeah, sometimes no matter how
he needs to go out like it needs to be very difficult. It needs to go out Namek style. Like, it can't be like Resurrection F, where it's like, you have been utterly embarrassed, like you are defeated, it is done. Like, it needs to be like seriously climactic.
Even Trunks defeating him was embarrassing, because he survived Namek against Goku. That should have been how Frieza died, but he didn't. He survived somehow and got put back together, and then Trunks is just like swish 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 swish, blast, dead. And I was like, okay, androids are coming. Frieza was here. I was like, okay, let's move on though. And that was an unfair ending to Frieza, so I'm glad they brought him back. Even if he was bad, I'm glad they brought him back into the show, in the limelight. But he needs a very climactic ending, something epic, something on a grand scale, like a show ending thing, like a series ending moment for Frieza. That is what you need, and this could be it. This final arc with Black Frieza, this could be the show ender. You know, they finally defeat Frieza, and yeah, who knows how? Maybe they all need to team up with the strongest characters in every universe. Maybe they bring in Jiren, Toppo, Broly all together to help out Ribrianne and all the rest of the strongest warriors of every universe. But imagine if Frieza is this powerful, he beat Gas in one punch. He took out UI, Goku, and Ultra Ego Vegeta in one punch. Maybe they need the help of all the strongest characters from every universe. They go up into a team. Frieza's beating them down one by one, and Oob is the savior of the whatever. But that could be it. If Oob is this potential strongest person in the universe, that could be how the show ends as a whole. Yeah,
I somehow doubt we'll end the show, but no, I see what you mean. It needs to be that level of like epicness.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Frieza deserves this epic send-off, and this is it. They've introduced him again for the third time now. This is his ending.
The third time's the charm.
It is. He gets his final blow-off, and that will be the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. So am I happy they brought him back? Yeah, I am. Is it the best way to bring him back? I like the swerve. I don't like the new form, and I don't like the name. But overall, I'm happy he's back.
70%, I'll give it.
Yeah.
70%. I think they they needed to bring him back powerful. He needed to be a beast. I don't know if bringing him back at the end of this huge arc of somebody else was the best idea.
I like it personally.
I can see why you would like it. I think fair enough. It's not terrible. It just feels like a bit random. But I can see why you would like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, not terrible. Six or 7 out of 10. I'll give it 6 or 7 out of 10 for that.
I think he's proved himself. Because if they ended the gas arc just the way that people were expecting with Vegeta and Goku to get a win, and then Frieza turned up again, even if he said, "Oh, I've been training for 10 years, I've got this new form," pow, goes all black. Then it's like, this is just Golden Frieza all over again. He turns up, he's been training, and then he gets beat.
How else could he introduce himself?
Exactly. Unless he came in and just killed Broly. Just like, bang, dead.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, okay.
Unfortunate.
But yeah, they're not going to kill off a main good guy character, but they have defeated a villain with another villain, so I like that. But anyway, I'm really curious to know what people think about this, so please leave some comments. Are you happy with the return of Frieza? Do you think like me? Do you think it might be Oob that's hinted at? I want to know people's thoughts and opinions. And do you think it was a good idea to bring Frieza back in this way? Let us know.